Well, the project itself is to preserve 1 million acres of the last unmined jungle land in Cambodia. Most of that country has been devastated, and through the wars, this particular piece of land we're talking about was where the Khmer Rouge lived, and they didn't mine that area. And so it is one of the few places that elephants and tigers and other large mammals can walk around and not step on a mine and either die or have their legs blown off and suffer, horrible injuries and death. So it's a unique piece of land. There is no other land like it in the country. And we've reached an agreement with the government, who's very supportive, and we've signed a contract actually in perpetuity. As long as we do our part and we fund it and we get it going, we have a partnership with the government in perpetuity to maintain this land and to have an observation sanctuary on site, which will be a place for the abused and abandoned animals of Asia to be transported. The idea is to have a veterinary facility on site to train wildlife veterinarians from around the world in the care and treatment of this kind of animal, and at the same time release the animals that can be released back into the wild, which will be right there. We'll take a small portion for the observation sanctuary, and then the balance of the land will be available to release the animals.
So your next step is looking for funding, looking for partnerships, and tell us a little bit about what you've spoken about with the government.
Yes, well, first of all, we have a contract already with the government. It's set forth in full color even on our website. It's www.cambodiawildlifesanctuary.com. And it explains the project. It also has the project agreement with the government, which actually was signed on national television in Cambodia. I think the government is as proud of it as we are. The sanctuary is two parts. One is the conservation area where we protect the land, and the other is the observation area where tourists could come and view the animals. And the beautiful part is the observation sanctuary will more than fund the perpetual protection of the conservation area. So what we need to do is build it, and like the Field of Dreams, they will come. The sanctuary is located less than an hour, or approximately an hour, from the Angkor temples, which are perhaps the primary tourist attraction in all of Asia. And the people there need another place to visit. They'd love another tourist attraction. The government sees the value of that. They're willing to cross-market it. They're prepared to advertise it on the airlines. They're prepared to sell a single ticket. The government's willing to allow a tourist to buy one ticket, which would allow them entry into all the temples and into the sanctuary. So right now we're trying to raise probably $5 million to build the sanctuary, the observation portion itself, and everything else will be self-funded from then on. This particular project would really give a cultural boost to this area, because the people who are now literally logging and poaching to live and have no technical jobs. It's illegal to log and it's illegal to poach, but they do it anyway because they have to. And if this sanctuary that we're there to protect the animals, and we put 1,000 people to work protecting the animals, the next thing you know is they actually will have, number one, a job and a career, but number two, they will have converted themselves from destroying the environment to protecting the environment, and the animals and this sanctuary will literally be their livelihood. So it will be self-renewing rather than the reverse. I think it's the kind of thing that's desperately needed in a number of areas, and we're hoping that if it works here and the finances make a lot of sense, we can take literally the excess profits from this project, and it will be the seed money to start other sanctuaries in other countries that could do the same thing to protect their habitat. Well, actually, there are a number of smaller aspects to the project that are, I think, important. One is that it would be entirely green. And that makes, I assume, logical sense because we're trying to do something that's for the environment, but proving that a green sanctuary, which will have people, it'll have tourists, it'll have all kinds of facilities there, it'll have a veterinary hospital, proving that you can do that green, I think, will be another positive step towards demonstrating for the rest of the world that this can work. It's not tigers are a dwindling population. There are several endangered species, many actually on the critically endangered species list, that live on this land, and there is at least one, the Siamese crocodile, that was believed to be extinct in the world, that has been found on this land. It does still survive. So there are a number of collateral things that this facility can do, and I think it would be an exciting tourist venture for people who are traveling to the region.